Hey folks, how's it going? Dr. Spin. In my quest to find the best albums for 2021, I've been working through weekly eliminations. These are all albums that I've been listening to for a while and have been vetted very carefully, so very often these distinctions are difficult, but only one shall pass going on to find their spot in the top 20 for this year. So for today's elimination, I've got Art Blakey's Just Coolin against Sons of Kemet's Black to the Future. Sons of Kemet is a contemporary jazz group, a quartet, consisting of a saxophone player that also doubles on many other woodwinds, a tuba player, and then two drummers. Not a very traditional idea about jazz, but very closely aligned to the jazz family tree. It's not like a swing style, right? But it's still very improvised, it's still very blues-based. And Sons of Kemet's interpretation of jazz tradition kind of puts them along the lines of kind of New Orleans funk styles, especially with the inclusion of the tuba player, very aggressive, but also very tuneful and very, very cleverly arranged. Also, there's a subtext in here that's sort of a discussion about the black condition that sometimes is brought out with the use of a guest vocalist, sometimes just implied with the music. So Sons of Kemet's a great album with very impressive creativity and lots of musicianship and a great current state of affairs in what's possible in the jazz tradition. On the other hand, talk about jazz tradition is Art Blakey, you know. This album was actually just released this last year, but it's a 1959 recording. It's an old recording that was found and put back together. It's interesting to think about this, how many old recordings of jazz groups there are that they find, and because of the way that digital can clean things up in these days and make things sound very contemporary, how many of these kinds of recordings are going to continue to come up. Just Coolin is a very, very great example, as any of them are, of Art Blakey's approach to sort of hard bop, textbook jazz. And as such, it's really kind of my favorite kind of jazz. I've been a jazz listener for many years, and I've played in jazz bands, but for me, the kind of jazz that really is defines the style, sort of hard bop. And that's what Art Blakey specializes in. And Just Coolin is a great, great example of that. I mean, even though these songs aren't long established in the jazz tradition, as they were kind of hidden from public view, many of our songs that really should be standards, just like any other one of Art Blakey's pieces. So because of that, I'm gonna have to go with Just Coolin on this particular one. As much as I like the Sons of Kemet, I think this is a great disc. Art Blakey's Jazz Messengers rise to the occasion yet again and produce another genre-defining album. So Art Blakey's Just Coolin. Now, if you agree with me, that's great. If you don't, that's great too. There's going to be a couple of clips at the end for you to check out, and check out both of the recordings and tell me what you think. See if I'm on the right track with this stuff. And then sound off below, okay? And if you want to know when other videos like this are going to come out later on this week, please like and subscribe, share this one out with your friends. And until I catch you next time, see you on the flip side.